What's up? Welcome to the Connect Zone where we get to navigate the shifts of life with God's Word. My name is Guma Alvat. I'm excited that you are tuned in right here on the Connect Zone. And I know that your life will not stay the same. If you're joining us in for the very first time, we want to welcome you in the family. If you've been watching through, we know that you're growing and you're reaching your God-given potential. Guess what? We have lots of conversation on the Connect Zone. If you missed out on the very last Connect Zone show, you can check it out on our different social media platforms. That is Facebook and YouTube. All you have to go is go type in Connect Zone and to all come to you. You'll see all the different videos and you'll be able to watch everything that you have missed out. And believe me, trust me, your life will be transformed completely. Now, the Connect Zone, we shall have amazing conversation. And this month, throughout this whole month, we're going to be talking about relationships and different kinds of relationships. And today, in this very particular one, we are going to be addressing the issue of friendships. Connecting bridges, building these bridges, friendships. And with me, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce the man himself, His Highness, His Holiness.
This guy is funny. Don't worry about this guy here. He's just as disciplined as I am. Yeah, I'm Daniel Musoba, and surely very excited to have you guys join us today for the Connect Zone. And like Albert said, you're most honorable people that we love so much because you always set aside time to connect with us every Saturday at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
And we are so grateful. And by the way, I enjoyed so much the previous sessions.
Yeah.
You're talking about the sharing stories of people.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of guys sharing. I want to share my story. I want to share. Yeah, guys in Kabale, guys in Basini, guys in Guru, guys in Kampala. Guys, we really appreciate so much.
Yeah.
And I will one day find time and share and read all these stories of this. Just saw some of them. Just type it because we may not be able to come there now.
Yeah.
But just type it and some of them say, I'm working on it.
Yeah.
And so it's beautiful to just hear people's stories.
Yeah.
And it just begins from that place that we can get better friendships in life.
Absolutely. And that's why the Connect Zone, it's where we want to make sure that we make it easy for us to connect with each other.
Yeah.
That's why we call it the Connect Zone. So we can be able to connect with each other.
It's all about friendship.
Friendships.
Connecting.
Yeah, exactly. So for all those who watch from different areas, as we had the show running about my salvation story. If you missed out on any salvation stories, you can go and check them out still on YouTube and Facebook. And if you really feel like, you know what, my story, I feel like the world needs to hear it. We still have
those testimonies.
Yeah, those testimonies.
They overcame.
Yeah.
But the word of their testimony, the blood of the lamb, and the word of their testimony.
Absolutely.
That Revelation 12:1, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's victorious.
Yeah. If you want to still go share it, please hit us up. Our numbers are displayed on the screen. Just text us on WhatsApp or even call it. Someone will be there to pick you up and guide you on how you can be able to connect with us. I want to just dive into it, Daniel, for today. We're talking about building bridges, but in this sense, I want to talk about friendships. And when I talk about friendships, you're like, oh man, what are you guys talking about? We shouldn't talk about this because many times we assume I know how to make friends. Some of us assume I have enough friends, or even many people assume I don't need friends anymore. Some other people say, leave me alone. Let me enjoy my loneliness. It's better to be alone than have people in my circles. But that's not usually true. And we want to just dive into that and have a conversation around that. But before we do that, I want to ask Daniel a very simple question. And if you're watching right now, feel free to drop in your comments and let us know what you think about this very question I'm asking. Daniel, on a scale of 1 to 10, right? How are you close in your friendships and your relationships? Yes. On a scale of 1 to 10, and tell us why. How are you close to the people that you call friends?
I could say 8.
8.
8. I didn't want
What
to say
would
10
you
out
give?
of 10.
Why would you give yourself 8?
I would say 8 because I'm close with my friends. We talk together, we laugh together, we enjoy life together, we eat together, share life issues together. But of course, there are things I don't know about them. There are things I don't know about them, so I left out the 2%.
Yeah.
There are even things I don't know about myself that I'm yet to discover.
Yeah.
And there are things they even don't know about themselves that I'm yet to discover.
Yeah.
So that's why I put
The
that
2%.
position at 8. Yeah, the 2%.
You left out the 2.
Yeah, the 2.
That 2.
But it is a process. It's a growing process. You can't say you're my friend, I can't know you 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's only God who can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you gave yourself an 8, someone would assume, hey man, that's a big score. What would make you give yourself such a big score, 8 in itself? Yes.
Because I've been intentional in what I do.
Yeah.
Yes. I've been intentional in what I do.
Yeah, you're very intentional in your friendships.
Yes.
All right. If you're watching with us right now, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give yourself with the friendships that you have? What would you give yourself? Would you give yourself a 9? Would you give yourself a 10? Maybe for you it's a 10. You feel like, you're so close to your friends that it deserves a 10. So close, closeness on a scale of 1 to 10. Or you could feel like, you know what, mine is ish, it's a 2, 3. Let us know why you give that number. And it's okay to give a very low number and hope that you can, and we hope that at the end of this show you'll be able to grow it to 10. And we are glad that Daniel, his is 8. Right? I'm glad I chose this 8. And so that will bring us to this other question that we want us to start having a conversation about. Why should we even have friends? Why should we have friends? What qualifies someone as a friend? Yeah, I want us to start from there.
So those are two different questions.
Yeah, okay, the first one is, why should we have friends?
Then what qualifies one to
what
be a
qualifies
friend?
one to be a friend?
So I think it's actually good to begin with the why.
Yeah.
Because if we know the why, then you can know the way and the how of how to come up with all these friendship things.
Yes.
So one thing I would say why we need friends is one, friends end up becoming like family.
Right.
You know that people who are so close to their friends more than their family members.
True. I agree.
There are people who share stuff with their friends more than they can share with their father, their brother, their sister, their cousin, but their friends have become everything to them.
Yeah.
So one, these people end up becoming like family.
Yeah.
And then two, we cannot live this life alone. We need people that we can share and pour our hearts, our pains, joy, whatever that needs to be shared with someone. Because we can't live in the globe and just live like I am the only one. I don't need anyone. I don't need a friend. I don't need any relative. No, we need each other.
Like that proverb that I think it's a quote that says, "No man is an island."
Yes, no man is an island. It's a quote.
Yeah.
No man is an island of his own.
Yeah.
I think even the thing I actually build friendship thing even from this verse that talks about where two, it's better when two even lie together, for they will even become warmer. Some people just get that on the marriage part.
I think it's Ecclesiastes, is it? Ecclesiastes 4:9.
But not just that case. But my aspect of that verse is that word, that scripture is that two people being together, we can do a lot together.
Right.
Yeah. We can go further. We can go a long distance because we are a combined force. And so the other one I would say is it is profitable. You can actually, even financially, as a result of friendships, you can get profit because you can find a friend who can link you to another friend, another one links you to another friend, another one links you to another friend or company or networks. So
I almost thought you're saying in the lines of profitable. I thought that we should find rich friends.
I know. Yeah, is there a problem? Is there a problem with that? But of course, I'm saying, of course, you understood. The good thing you understood me.
No, I've not understood. I've not.
Okay.
Because
thinking from what you have said, we don't just need to have that. Maybe let me say, thinking of maybe for me to be okay, maybe I need some rich friend. No, we have seen life where people have met people who are rich, and they are also very stressed up with their own issues.
Right.
That someone that may not have material, let me use material in that richness, material stuff can actually offer them very good advice and comfort, and they can be there for them. Not because of what they have, but just to be there for them. And so friendships are cuts across, whether you're from financially disadvantaged, I don't want to use poor, financially disadvantaged state or advantaged, we can all combine together. But of course, in the society we live today, there's a tendency of guys only trying to cocoon with those that are of their level. They say levels.
Yeah.
Levels.
But you see, it's interesting that you say that. There's someone who there's someone I was having a conversation with, and he told me this is a statement they use. If you want to become an eagle, you fly with a with the egos. Right? I hope I got them right. But they say if you want to croak like a chicken, then you you be with the what? With the chickens. So and then he went ahead and gave me this whole scenario and said, Albert, it's very important for you to understand that do you know why the rich stay being rich? It's because they don't allow their social circles to be penetrated by any other form of they call it disadvantaged class. They don't want any form of a disadvantaged person to come through in their social class, because then they want to keep the money. They want to keep the money growing. Now, for example, Daniel, you and myself, we are rich. Yeah, we are rich, and because we want to keep the money there, we do not want any, because we are rich. For example, when you're having your daughter marry, I'll give you 40 million. If I have my daughter marry, you'll give me 40 million. But imagine we have one. Let me assume Isaac. I just want to use the word Isaac, right? A name Isaac.
Not you the one watching or listening.
Yeah. Let me just assume there's like an Isaac, right? And an Isaac is a disadvantaged one. And because he's one of our friends, we may give him 40 million, but when we are getting married, when we want him to come through for us, he cannot afford to come with 40. He'll probably give us like either 10K or 20K. So it's crippling the social circle. That's why most rich people want to keep the same networks. So how does that translate to friendships, really?
That's a good a good observation in the society. And that's happening in the world. In the world. I'm using that word very intentionally. In the world.
Yeah.
But as a child of God,
we are not in the world.
No, we are in the world.
Yes.
But we are not of the world. You see? So when we get to meet Christ, of course, for those of us who have accepted Christ, we have noted, wow, it will be a beautiful moment to just have you accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior, because this is what it does as far as friendship is concerned.
Yeah.
So if we are doing well, our brother is not doing well financially.
Right.
First of all, what you'll be thinking about is how can we help our brother to come up
right.
to our level.
Right.
Not looking at how disadvantaged it is, then begin segregating him.
Right.
Or letting him be on the other side, we are this side.
Right.
That's why we said why we need to actually have friendships is to know the reason why we need friendships in the first place.
Right.
First of all, we are very poor in the spirit, in the physical, on this. But Christ calls us his friends. What did we deserve to get the friendship of Jesus? Okay, if you're talking about status quo, the status of Jesus is beyond human standard or worldly standard. But he still chose to come down here and help us. He didn't come down here and then began sinning like we sin, like what happens in the world, doing all kinds of evil things. But instead, he came and brought transformation. And this life, we have it today. And we are sharing the same light with other people. So now, as friendship is concerned, then we have the same grace to extend to a fellow brother, a fellow sister, a fellow relative, a fellow clan member, or a tribe mate, or nationality, whatever it is. Because we know that this kind of friendship is not based or founded on materialistic stuff.
Right.
In that I can treat anyone equally, like the way I could treat the other person of the same status, materially. Right. Because there's some advice you can get from those guys, man, that you may not get from your friend.
But Daniel, do you agree? And if anyone who is watching right now, they're just tuning in, just welcome to the Connect Zone, where we get to navigate the shifts of life. We want to say it intentionally, where we get to navigate the shifts of life with God's word. Because we believe that there are many shifts of life that we navigate through, and we need God's word to navigate. And so one of those things we're saying that, we're talking about friendships and building these bridges together and building healthy friendships. But in most cases, Daniel, if you very look closely, even the ones that call themselves believers, even in church in itself, you realize that the ones who look like they are inclined to each other, right? They're inclined. There's a way, like, I don't know if this principle even works in this sense, that you attract what you already have.
Of your kind.
Yeah, you attract of your kind, right? Yeah. So it's almost even in church in itself that it's even friendships. Those who look like they are still struggling, they are isolated in a way. Or even responsibilities tended to be shifted to those who look like they quickly become elders of the church. They quickly, I don't know if you understand this.
I understand what you're saying.
I don't know what you understand.
That is why we are trying to beat this analogy of people thinking that they are it is us versus them.
Yeah.
Or we are okay, they are not okay. And actually, Jesus came for those that are not okay. So if I qualify myself on my own that I'm okay without the equation, Jesus being in the equation, then actually I'm not okay.
Right.
Though in the physical I seem I'm okay. You see? So now, you said even the examples in church. Yes, you even realize that in most churches, actually, even including even fellowship from times, I just get to cocoon with those I know.
Yeah.
That this is my friend. Then we have some guys that we're not acquainted with, we don't know. Then we leave them aside to hang around. And actually they even leave and never come back again because that church is for that group.
Yeah.
They be like this, they be like that. Maybe even you listen to us and maybe new churches even happens. That those people who come fast or whatever, or they are not so much talkative, or they don't socially relate very fast, we let them be aside. So we need to as we talked about intentionality. We have to be intentional in helping reach out to everyone, especially that we are responsible believers. In that case, we are ambassadors of Christ.
Right.
So how are we representing Christ? That's why I think, is it Rick Warren or Dino Senesi and Ray Jones that wrote and said that they talked about people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Right.
You see? So we have to be intentional in reaching out to these guys. I think even John Maxwell talks about the same thing in his book.
Yeah.
So if we are going to break these boundaries and then create bridges, then we will have to get out of my comfort zone, reach out to these people, tell Albert, hey man, we are so much used to each other. Let me go and reach to Ruth. Let me reach to John. We're seeing John is isolated here and there. Let's go and give this guy morale. So we have to move there and try to break that because it is something that is there. So it is our responsibility, especially as young people, young professionals, or in high school, whatever it is, that you find yourself in, even parents, having in mind that these friendships we are talking about cuts across in families, in relationships, talk about sexual whatever things, relationship, boy-girl relationships, talk about work, related relationships or friendships. So all these cuts across. And that is why we need to understand why it is very important. And so the question just asked actually drives me to talk about the how.
It's driving you completely talk about the how.
The how.
Because even as before we talk about the how, maybe someone is watching and is wondering, okay, maybe I'm getting friendships for it because it profits me, or maybe maybe I'll get encouraged, maybe I want to feel lonely. Why I should get friendships, and maybe someone is thinking, okay, if I already have friends, I already have friends, but yet I feel lonely. I don't know if you've ever thought of when you look around, when you go through your phone, there are some people you think that these are you got them as friends, but still in a way you still feel lonely. You still feel lonely. Why would someone feel that way? What would cause someone to feel in that sense? Lonely.
We are human beings, and we always have that void within us. And there's that void that you cannot feel,
right?
That my wife cannot feel,
right?
My friends cannot feel. Only Christ can feel it. So I would say that void and feeling a sense of there's still something missing. Even if I have all these kind of friends that seem very close to me, when I call them at 3 a.m. they come and they help me out. But still, I still feel this. That's why you find that we can still have parties, have outings, happenings, even have housewarmings, every kind of things that build friendships and teams together. But still, we still feel that space or that void within us. It's just, I could say, put it this way. I think it is a form of circumstance or situation whereby it reminds us that we need God that can be able to fill that gap.
But then, and it is true, I agree. And if you're watching right now, welcome to the Connect Zone, where we get to navigate the shifts of life with God's word. We're talking about friendships, and I agree with you, Daniel. You're saying that we need God. But take a case an example. I have God. I have Christ. I've given my life to Jesus, and I have Christ as my Lord and personal Savior. I do have an intimate relationship with Him. But like again, you said that we are in this world. I don't think having Christ, having Christ is a very good thing, because then it earns us eternity. But those with Christ still find themselves lonely, even when there is, in a sense, say they have a community or they have friends. Because I've interacted with friends and people who say, I feel so lonely. It almost feels like my friends don't care about me. They do have Christ, they have a relationship, but yet God also intends that we should live in a community. There should be friendships built there, so they are that much valuable to us. So my question would be then, even when I have Christ, I still find myself lonely with my friends. What brings that?
What brings that?
Yeah, why would I find myself lonely, even in the friends that I've met?
Maybe it's something better. Yeah. In which type of or context of loneliness are we talking about?
Lonely, like, you feel like your friends are not there. Your friends really don't care. Your friends don't really hear what you have to say. Like a friend. I was jazzing with a friend the other day, and then we had this jazz, and we're talking jazz. Basically, we're having this conversation, and then and he said, we asked ourselves how our days were, right? His own was actually chairing the meeting, as how our days were, right? You quickly share. Everyone is sharing. Hey, and so as you're sharing, one of us kind of talks about something that one of those guys kind of connected with, and so they also bring that story. So we all share, and we find ourselves that the stories get lit, that he doesn't have the opportunity to do what? To share. And at the end of the day, he finds himself is left out. He goes away and he's left out. He shared a meeting, but he didn't get time even to share how his day was. He didn't get the time to share and yet he was sharing the meeting, because these people connected and forgot about this person, and that made him feel so lonely. And it happens in our context.
And I think I would say in that context, it was actually him as I could say, let me use the moderator or facilitator of that meeting. He was actually the one supposed to control the conversation and participate. That's why in the trainings of heart groups or cell groups in church, we tell guys, the one who's facilitating, you have to make sure that you give everyone an opportunity to share something. So he needed to have controlled the conversation and also participate. This one, I will just bring it plain like that.
Okay. I don't know if you're watching in right now, guys. This is a Connect Zone. We're talking about friendships. We were just answering the question of why should we have friends, and even talking about different friendships people have and why they have those friendships. But in a way, we want to talk about then how should what qualifies one to be a friend. What qualifies you, Daniel, to call someone else, this is my friend? What qualifies someone to be a friend?
I think number one thing I would say is, first of all, can we connect together? If we can connect together, a few things are there. Sometimes people become friends because there are things they are sharing in common.
Right.
Because maybe, for example, like playing football. Hey, like playing football. Let's go. There's something that brings us together, so we get there. Right. Maybe there are people who get connected together because they believe in God. Say, hey, you're a Christian. Wow, can we be friends together? And they meet there, and life goes on like that. And there are those who meet actually. Maybe they're traveling in a bus. They talk, and hey, how are you? I'm so and so. I'm Daniel. Hey, you're Albert. I'm John. And then all over along the way, they can exchange even contacts. And from nowhere, we realize that hey, we have become close, and we begin even meeting together. And so I could call that, I don't want to use accidental, but I could say circumstantial.
Circumstantial is
just meet anyway, abruptly. You didn't plan that, but somehow it happened. So there are many things that make people qualify to be friends. Maybe they're studying in the same Bible study. They said, hey, this guy is good in the word. I want to learn the word. Let me make him to be my friend. Because there's something I don't know. I want to know from this guy. So I want to make that man to be my friend, or I make that lady to be my friend.
What if you're making me to be your friend? Because for example, and this can be like a long conversation. We don't have enough time.
I know.
That's why I don't want to keep throwing in a span in there. Because you come to me, Daniel, you say, hey, Albert looks to be a very interesting guy. Of course, I know I am, right? Albert looks to be a very interesting guy, and maybe he's very deep in the word. Let me go and make Albert my friend. But then I'm looking, for example, at George, and I'm saying, George over there looks to be a very good guy in these computer things. Let me make George my my friend, right? And so for you, you are my friend. I'm not your friend, but me, I'm a friend to the George, and George is not my
friend.
is not
Okay,
my-
talking about that. Now, I was still building on what I was saying before you cut me short. Now, if I choose to say, okay, Albert knows this, because you can't just help me unless we have known also each other somehow. Of course, let's even think through this way. You can actually help me better when you have somehow known each other and have become friends a little bit.
Yeah.
Because there are different levels of friendships.
Yeah.
They're just acquaintance people.
Great.
And those who are so close to you. And of course, there's no other person that is so much closer to us than God.
Yeah.
That is the ultimate, that's Jesus' ultimate friend.
So you're saying that the levels of friends, they are acquaintances, those ones are just around you?
They're just the people that we just know each other.
Yeah.
What,
Hi,
we share.
what's up? You good?
And then there's a group that you can talk about your issues
Yeah.
that are happening in your life. So some level.
So the ones that you have like an intimate, you're a bit intimate. They know you.
Intimate.
Yeah.
And then now there are those of the core that you have allowed them to be your inner circle.
Yeah.
So let's use, for example, 3 circles.
Yeah.
The wider circle, you say acquaintance, we just know each other. Hey, Albert, oh,
Hey, what's
yeah,
up?
man.
Yeah.
And then they always use the word intimate now. There's the second circle. I don't know, you can be talking about stuff and then, here and there maybe share a few things. Man, I ate yesterday, but hey, my stomach is whatever. And then maybe football games, whatever. But when it comes to real life issues within, there's where they end.
Yes.
Then there are those ones that get to the circle that are so close, I could call them close friends,
Yeah.
that we share with them everything.
Yeah.
That what we share with the acquaintances up to what we don't share with those guys.
Yeah.
We share with these other ones. Yeah. So it depends on the levels of friendships.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so for this case, I could come and I become say, hey, I want to learn something from Albert, and then perhaps, or maybe along the way, we can actually bond so much, and we end up becoming that close kind of friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting. If you're just joining us, guys, we're talking about friendship. It's usually a very amazing conversation to have, because then you realize one of the things that Daniel is helping us understand, that maybe the reason why you sometimes you feel very lonely in your friendships is probably you're having a level of a friendship that is just the outside circle. These people have not truly gotten to get close to you. They have not come to the inner. They have not come to the to the inner circle, then to the very inner circle, the closer circle, where you guys get like very close. The core circle, like
core circle.
Yeah. So it is possible that maybe the friends you have, they have not gotten to understand you in such a deeper way, and they're not yet in your inner circle. That's why probably sometimes you feel so lonely.
Or even the person, him or herself, has not opened up
fully.
themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because friendships, there's a level of trust that has to accompany it.
Yeah.
You talked about what qualifies one. Trust is another thing.
Yeah.
Can you trust this person? If I tell you some of my issues, will I hear it in another person's place again? Will somebody tell me, man, I heard about this? Will you make my issues become prayer items somewhere?
Right.
Trust. Even trust. Can you be confidential?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I do, yeah.
Are you a person that I can rely on?
Yes. Reliability. Can we rely on you?
Yes. A level of sacrifice. Can you even actually use your own money to help me?
Yeah.
Can I use my own money to help you? Yeah. So it is a combination of a number of factors. By the time somebody reaches and says, "This is my real friend,"
yeah,
there is a level it has. So it doesn't grow overnight.
Yeah.
Say today meet Albert, tomorrow, for us, you're better call friends. My friends, that's a lie.
Right.
Those becomes like fireworks. Goes on, but it's a process.
Yeah.
And as people, we need to consider the other person. The Bible tells us in Philippians 2:4, part B, that what? Look not unto your own things, but also to the other person's needs, other person's things.
Right.
So when it comes to friendships, we don't just look to our own selves. We look to other people. And when it comes to looking to other people, then we have to be intentional in making friends. So the how thing, appreciate people.
Right.
And, hey man, you're looking smart today. Somebody will be like, oh, okay. Maybe it can be a starting point.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you? Get to know what the other person likes if you really want to be intentional with your friendship, and talk to them. Say, man, I see you like this. Can we play this game together? Can we go and watch this movie together? And so we have to get out of our comfort zones and move there if we are going to make these friendships work.
Yeah.
Go to spaces that, if you want this kind of friendships, then go to the spaces where those kind of friendships are found.
Yeah.
Or create that environment that will create room for those kind of friendships to happen.
Yeah.
So you're just trying to maybe hint on a few things on how we can actually make these friendships. Don't be so reserved.
Yeah.
If you hold so much to yourself, then how will somebody know how you're feeling, or what you're going through, or what you like, or what you don't like? So be as open as you can. Albert, I don't like eating pork.
Yeah.
Albert, I don't like that movie.
Yeah.
So I get to know, okay, Albert likes this.
But you
Albert,
like eating pork.
I know, I'm
real
using an
sense.
example.
Okay, yes, okay. I
I'm
just
using-
wanted to make sure.
I'm using an example. So that I get to know what you like, what I don't like, then we can what? See, hey, can we connect? What are your likes? What are your dislikes?
Yeah.
So it is. That's why I said it's a process. It's something that grows over time, even in family, at workplace, everywhere. Now, as children of God, we have no option than to make people friends,
Absolutely.
depending on the different levels. Also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're already running out of time, but we're going to keep having this interesting conversation. We're going to, and we are definitely going to dive into even the types of different friendships, how friendships can grow. For example, you're friends with a lady, how will that grow and end up into a relationship? How will that grow and end up into from a relationship to marriage? So it's February now. Guess what? It's going to be a very interesting month. Don't get anywhere. Every Saturday from 6 to 6:30. Just make sure call your friends. It's going to be a very amazing ride together as we continue to connect and make and build this friendship together. And hopefully we help you and you help us to be the best of ourselves we can be in our different friendships, in our different areas of life. Next week, we'll be talking about the eyeing. How do you get to eye in your how do you get to eye? But that being said, we all understand that in this world, the Bible promises and says that we shall encounter very many troubles. We shall have very many troubles. But the Bible also says that we need to persevere. But through the perseverance, you need someone to help you through that very sense. You need someone to hold on to and share with, and that's a friend. And you and I would love to be friends. Would love to be able to be involved in your life so we can help you persevere through what you'll be going through. But from now on, guys, until next week on Saturday, send in those comments, call, let's be connected. Until then, see you.